I hope you're all doing well this morning. I have learned of a new house that's for the Frostfell this year in Everquest 2. Of course, I had to get on to live in order to check it out. But apparently, you can basically buy an island. This is my understanding. Um, and I think that I've found it on here. It's the Winter's Island deed of ownership, I think. And so I was thinking, well, all right, I will give it a go. I have a little bit of station or daybreak cash, as we call it these days, to work with. So there we go. Let's see what happens. We get this Winter's Island deed of ownership. All right, now it says here, purchase using daybreak cash. No coupon selected. Winter's Island deed of ownership. You may only own one of these one of this house per character. This deed of ownership entitles the owner to a rent-free version of Winter's Island. It may only be used for one character. The character will always retain the right to rent-free home, even if they move out, and then return later. Right-click and select your beam to activate the home. The maximum number of placed items, including pets, prior to house expanders is 900. So, all right, we've got it on sale. We've got a members 10% discount. We end up paying 972 daybreak cash for this home. Let's go ahead. All right, we purchase it. We get the Winter's Island deed of ownership. Now, we go into our bags. There it is. We have to redeem it. Once claimed, this home. Oh, that's interesting. Trade restricted. Huh. Oh, cool. All right. I didn't realize you could trade them at all, but apparently you can. Once claimed, this home may be purchased from the housing portal area in either the city of Pinos or the city of Freeport. Are you sure you'd like to claim the deed for Winter's Island? Yes. You may now access your Winter's Island from the city of Pinos or the city of Freeport. Okay. Well, before I go do that, I'm going to grab this Frostfell quest from Gutton Gibble. So he's the Frostfell Tree Handler there. He says, Happy Frostfell for you. Yes, yes. You want one of Gutton's special holiday trees? I say, You're right. He says, I am? Yes, yes, of course I am. You know, chop or bought such trees anywhere like Gutton's. I say, Good point. He says, You want Frosty Frostfell tree? Sure. He says, This beer will get make happy to deal make with you, sir. Having trouble with reading, apparently. Frostfell days of happy time and sharing happy smiles with others. You share happy with others in city. I say, I would be happy to help spread the joy of Frostfell. He says, Perfect, good. You put up sparklies, color bright bits in your city. I say, You want me to help decorate? He says, Yes, yes, you grab the badger by the tail. Decorate the city dark areas. I gives you sparklies, and you puts them in glow spots. I say, Sounds good. He says, You knows where to put the sparklies, 'cause them glow spots be marked by other gibble-gibbers. I say, I'll be back, Clinton. All right, now, glow spots. Now, as you can see, we have markings on this map for this. And so, here we go. But on our way, we've run across this. Well, let's see how many quest slots we have first. Okay, we have room for 13. That should be good. All right, here we have the quest. He says, Greetings from the Order of Mar. I am glad you have come, for I have a task of the utmost importance for those willing to embark upon a mission from the Queen. I say, The Queen herself, is it? What is it she is calling on us to do? He says, I'm sure you've heard of the rumors and stories of what has transpired in Freeport. The chaos that consumes the city, the strife and turmoil in the streets, and ultimately the disappearance of the Overlord himself, looking to it. I say, Indeed, there are many rumors right now about what is happening in Freeport and what has become of Lucan himself. Do you know something? He says, We know little, as our spies have had difficulty gathering information or have disappeared themselves. However, from what we've been able to piece together, Lucan may have been betrayed by one of his own. We think he was traded in a bid for power, but as to the master, we're unsure. Hey, Signa, how you doing? Absolutely, Frostfell Tom started yesterday, man. I say that's a frightening prospect. The enemy you do not know is far more dangerous than the one you do. What will the Queen do about it? Are we to march on Freeport? He says, No, the Queen has forbidden it. In fact, she has asked for something much more surprising. She has asked that we seek out the Overlord himself and find a way to return him to Freeport. I said, What? Rescue Lucan Demir? He is the tyrant, the enemy of Kinos. Why would we do such a thing? He says the Queen has pondered all possible outcomes. She believes that an assault on Freeport might prove successful, but the cost of innocent lives would be staggering. Even now, innocents die and the bloodshed gripping the city, and who stands powerless to assist them. I say, so how would returning Lucan to the throne stem the violence there? He says, although it is run by tyranny, Freeport maintained a stable environment that acted as a shield for the innocent so long as they were in line. Fear of Lucan kept the various factions under control, which immediately began to vie for control once he was missing. The innocent are no longer safe in anarchy. I say, I see. So we're to find the Overlord then. Where might we begin our search? He says, we understand that all of this happened as soon as the damaged Ultron spires began functioning again. I'm sure you've also heard that the erudite homeland of Otis has been found, trapped within the dimension of Volterra itself. Although we don't have any direct evidence, we believe this might be the place to start. I say he might know. He says there's an erudite scholar, Delar Ratan, from whom we actually have received some information regarding Lucan. He might be the one to speak to. You can find him over near the Common Men's Ultron Spire. I say, very well, I will search there. Farewell to you. All right, so that's completely unrelated quest, but picked it up anyway because, hey, you know what? It was right there, and so was I. So off I go now to actually grab this. This is a Christmas, or it's a Frostfell shiny in the quest. Apparently, this character has not actually done much in the way of Frostfell stuff, for real, for real. So, should be picking up a lot of these things for the first time. There's a little candy cane circle. As you'll see, there are going to be Christmas presents all over the place. We're decorating this spot for Frostfell. That was part of the quest. What's that? Oh, wrapping express mailbox. And we have another little spot here. Now you can see we're placing little presents and whatnot. That one's over there, so we'll go around this way. And keep our eyes out for those purple shinies, because purple shinies are Frostfell shinies. And they'll be all over the city, in different cities, so you get different things going on. And there's the third one of that. The final location that needs to be decorated is marked by a green sparkle, and it's also marked by a blue dot on the map. But there we have yet another shiny. We absolutely need those every day of the week. So we're going to head north to North Kinos, and it's way up there. So yeah, so I figured some folks might like to see Everquest's version of the holidays over here. It's actually it's so expansive. I don't know of any other game that is like an MMO that has quite so much to its holiday season, or to it, particularly to Frostfell. They just add to it every year, and it's just sort of pervasive during the whole month of December. The fact that they dedicate a whole zone to it over there in the Wonderland Village it's pretty crazy. Strangely, I'm getting discovery XP for things like the Ironforge Estate. I don't know what's happened, but it seems like some of the stuff on this category has been reset. I'll gift you with cruises, he says, because I really think I've done some of this stuff. Alright, so we will go ahead and attack Mr. McScroogle, who actually he has attacked us. My hotbars are not set up even remotely, by the way, so I don't know where anything is, and I'm not sure even. Oh, there's a pet. Sure, let's pull that out. May not be the pet I want, but it's the pet I've got. I normally have all 10 hotbars open on these type things, and so having only the one hotbar open and being in primarily my crafting or harvesting. Actually, I think I'm in my harvesting suit with this guy, and then just have some Frostfell things on, and so it's therefore my Frostfell suit. Definitely gonna have to search into my adventuring gear for fights in the future. Sickness says Star Trek Online has quite a bit, but nothing close to what EQ2 has. Right, yeah. Exactly. There's I know there's quite a few games that have tried to implement um such things, but I just really think that actual Everquest 2, as far as I know, has the most extensive Christmas celebration content. I never played Star Trek Online, however. All right, here we are back at Cutting Gibble Gibble. He says, I was happy enough to see you again, Orgare. You done sparkly spreading? I say, I am. He says, something's wrong. I sense it. What not go right? I say, I put up the decorations, but then McScroogle showed up. He attacked me. He says, eeks and yipes. That explains why Sparkly's never stuck there. Why that grump won't know like them, I never knows. But you done good, and should be getting Frosty Tree. Take tree ticket and pick up the bespeckled Frosty Tree. I said, thank you. Except now I can come up here to this tree. Now you'll notice among all the trees, this is the one that actually has decorations on it. So we go here, click this tree, and then we can buy one of them with our brand spanking new Frosty Frostfell Tree ticket that we just earned in the request. So we'll buy one. There we go. Make sure you want to purchase. Yes, indeed. Now we have a tree, and of course it looks like this. Like the non-decorated ones, basically. But there's one tree. You can sell the trees. Let's see. Just out of curiosity, what would the tree go for on the broker if you were to list it? Let's go to sell. Let's just throw this in there. Oh, that's the scroll stand. Go to sell. Okay, there we go. Try throwing it in there. All right, let's see. All right, so the lowest that they have priced for these Frostfell trees is currently 4,400,000 platinum. The highest goes up to 180 million platinum. So there you go. Very, very much moolah. I don't want to sell mine. Well, I'll just leave it on the broker. I don't want to sell it, but I'll just leave it there for storage. That's one thing that's great about being able to broker anywhere. I have, I have mixed feelings about it, but it's convenient, I'll say that. And it gives you extra storage even if you don't want to sell the item. All right. So now finished that, and then I wanted to go down and show you guys this house, because I obviously haven't seen the house myself. I'm not huge into housing personally, but I thought that you guys may want to see it because you buy it on the marketplace, and people may not want to put out that amount of daybreak cash without knowing what it looks like. And I'm going to go and show you what it looks like. And this is just the housing deed. It's no, I haven't done anything to it, as you can see. And you saw me buy it. So it's as is. And I keep running across these prestige quests, and I'm picking them up too. So you're going to have to forgive me while I go through this one. Tevin says, here you are. I've been waiting for you. I say, what is it you want of me? He says, age's end grows ever nearer, and the duality is still working to counter the threat. We are working with him to find the answers, but he has asked that you be summoned to assist further in his research. I say, very well. Where will I find him? He says he is conducting his studies apart from the general business of the city, so I will need to take you to him. Let me know when you're ready. And I'm just going to say I will talk to you then. Farewell to, because I'm not going to go do that right now. Techness is about ready to log in on. Not sure if this is on the origin server. No, it isn't. Might need to go elsewhere to experience it. Unfortunately, there's no Frostfell on the origin server. That's why I came over to live for this. Otherwise, I would have just continued to do it on the origins. But here we are. All right, now what am I doing here? Got to go to this portal right here for the prestige houses. And let's see. The one that I have gotten here is Island Hunter Prestige Home, something like that. Not for sale. We don't want to go to for sale. How about my houses? I'm not very good at this, so you'll have to forgive me as I try to find it. Okay. So we actually already got the deed for this. We claimed it. So, not here. But that's okay. For now, we're going to pick two. And then we're still going to see it. Key point is still there. Second says it gives me an excuse to play my live characters for a bit. Man, I tell you what, I'm just, I'm not loving the live experience, even though I'm not even participating in like max level stuff right now, or even close to max. You're not even working on that stuff at all, and yet I still have this kind of grimy feeling just being on live. I don't know, it's oppressive. But the holiday stuff is cool. So all right. So here is the island. It doesn't have a map of it, but I feel like maybe it should. You can actually fly in this. So this is a house that you can fly in. I wonder if we can go up there. It looks like we're going to be able to go up there to this island up here as well. Yes. And so we have a little bitty island up here with a pool. It's got a waterfall. It goes down into that. And, this is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. That's the portal to leave. The fact that you're, I need to fly around this place and, you've got that little island up there to deal with. It's pretty neat. I wonder how far you can go. You can fly out quite a ways. I had actually assumed we would have hit a wall by now before we get out this far. Now I'm curious, would we be able to build something way out here? It's looking like it, really. Can we land on it? That's the question. No, it's not really there. Right. I wasn't sure. Yeah, we just fly right through it. Well, good to know. All right, so as you can see, the water that comes from the pool on the main island just goes out into nothingness. So you primarily just have, it looks like um, these two locations with this house. However, I don't think this is the one that I wanted to look at. This cool house. But I don't think it's the right one. So I'm going to fly back over and go back. And let's see here, maybe we look on here. You know what we want to do is we want the winter. You know, it doesn't even show up. So maybe I'm at the wrong quarter. Yes. Not sure. What I need is somebody who's more familiar with the housing. Personally, I'm not that person, but so okay, let's try that. You can get the portal object and put that in your house. If I click enter, right, it wants me to enter those houses. Now I know that I cleaned the deed, but I'm going to make sure. What if I go to the housing tab? It's actually only showing I'm enclosed in this large inward, so I wonder if I'm in the wrong location. That would make some sense. Let's see. Yeah, I have no idea. It should be one of the prestige homes, but I have no clue. Man, I'm not gonna just pick up every purple feather I see right now. That's no bueno. But alright, let's move on to Frostfell Village. Alright, you have right here Pinchy Present Field. He's gonna give us a quest. He says, Golly, I'm so glad you showed up okay. Hopefully you can save our leader and our home. They're starting to get real sad. Of course I will help. I'm an upstanding citizen, my good elf. He says, we need you, because our leader, Lord Bowsprite, has disappeared and our home has been taken over. We have no idea what to do without his strong leadership. He is the most honorable, noblest of elves. He takes care of all of us, tells us what to do when we're sad or confused, and he makes us laugh. He is the bestest leader ever. With the meanie pants green fellow living in our home and Lord Bowsprite missing, we have no clue what to do. I say, do you know where he could be? He says, we know for sure it was those mean goblins, but we don't know where they took him or why. The greeny goblin that took over our home just showed up the other day. We tried to hug him, but he got really cross and yelled at us. Then our home suddenly became downright freezing, and there are all these strange monsters roaming around. We all got very, very scared. We think maybe that mean old goblin brought them. We need Lord Bowsprite to tell us what to do. I say, well, I can help you find it. Do you know which goblins took him? He says, we don't know. There are so many tribes of them. The fubby fuzzers, the hammy housers, the runny eyes, the sneaky sniffers, the pit claws, the gibble givers, the swami swimmers. I just don't know. The only clue I have is the greenie that has taken over our land kept talking about making gold and strange schemes. He wasn't very smart either. I said, what exactly did he say about gold and schemes? He says, let me think. He said something like, spinning numbers spin real fast. They lose lots of monies, and then they gasp. Gold, silver, platinum, please. If you win, then we sneeze. We thought it was the silliest song. It made us all laugh real hard, so we started singing it with him and dancing around, but I think it made him even madder. Greedy gobbies are so weird. And I say, well, there's a good chance that one of the Gibber Gibbers might know something about this. He says, hurry quick and let us know when you find our beloved Lord Bowsprite. I say, I will. But another purple shiny has spawned, so I won't go in quite yet. We've got a couple of those. Again, those are Frostfell shinies, so grab them while you can, folks. Going into the magic closet, we have Frostfell Wonderland Village and Frostfell Wonderland Village 2. We'll choose the second one. And then just for curiosity's sake, we'll see how many people are in there. Alright, only 3 people in this version. Now, as you can see, there are a number of presents around, and the gathering is ridiculous. I feel compelled to do so, even though I know that in my guild hall we have countless materials for this. So I believe we also have all of the Frostfell tables, crafting tables as well. Alright, let's see. I'm going to talk to the Gibber Giver Goblin Gambling Game Vendor. We don't want to gamble. What we want to do is we read what it says. I take it you only 10 shiny coins. You give just 10 shiny coins, and maybe you get many shinier coins. And I say, what do you know about the disappearance of Lord Bowsprite? He says, Lord who? I've never met no one named Bowsprite. Bowsprite. He says, oh, well, I still don't know nothing about that elk. I say, who should there's no? Fess up, for I'll tell everyone the Gibble Gibber gambling game is rigged. He says, no, you can't do that. Fine, I'll tell you everything. We have Bowsprite at the super secret hideout, but you can't go there. What? I say, tell me where it is. You don't want me to ruin your business, do you? He says, you're gonna get me in a lot of trouble, you know. I'll tell you, but I don't exactly remember where it is. All I remember is the entrance is at the bottom of the water, under the docks where the halfies and fairies play. We all have to take the boat to get there. That's all I'm telling you. It goes away. I say you've been helpful. Thanks. All right. So that's something right there. We've got more quests to get here. As you can see, this is a very Christmassy area we got here. It's a whole zone just for Frostfell. It's this big. You see my character here. And I missed a quest right there. So we've got a feather blinking on the map. So come back over and grab this. It says, what reasons do you have interrupting me here? Can you not see you're blocking my view? I say, pardon my intrusion. You got the impression you were needing help with something. And he says, what would give you that impression? I say, I really do not know. You just got a feather's weight of inclination to come speak with you. He says, well, unless you happen to have some skills of stealth, you cannot help me. I say, that completely depends what you need me to hide from. He says, there's an event that recently came to our attention that we need to get a bit more insight into what's going on. We need someone to sneak in and place listening devices so that we may learn the truth behind it all. I say, what sort of place? He says, it is an ice fortress where we believe an ice dragon egg is being kept. I say, so break in and place devices. That's it? He says you would need to get out safely. We would like to know the mission is a success without having to scrape you up with a shovel. I say, yes, obviously. He says, if you're up for the task, I will leave it in your hands, but you will have to find your own way of sneaking in. Conventional methods have not seemed to work thus far. Are you up for the challenge? I say, sure, why not? And he gives me this quest. Very well, then. Return to me with news of your success, but do not bother returning at all. I say, understood. All right. And so, there's shiny. So gather some more of the presents, and then put on down for the quest. There are a good number of the Frostfell quests. That was a loyalty point notification right there. Loyalty points are they're given per account. So you have different goals that you meet, and it's account wide. And if you meet them, then you get more of them. So I don't even know how many loyalty points. I have 1,714 loyalty point tokens currently. If you just kind of play the game, then you end up getting loyalty points pretty much. Alright, Sog's Frostfoot says, I bet you have crafty fingers. You good at making pretties, yes? I said, yes, I love to craft. He says, I knew it. Frostfoots be all toes when crafty vets be the task. I'd be sent to get someone who helps us. I said, whatever it is, I'll help. He says, Lady Fox once held Frostfoots and Shiverbones and Ice Beam's goblins. We was her workers. But since she is kaput, she's freed. She cannot burns us for our holiday bits and bubbles. We need help making enough to fill her halls. I say, you can count on me. Right. Great. Now, every day, each of you can get a present from Santa Claus. That's another thing. Every day during the holiday season. So that is something you can keep in mind. But give me a moment to talk first to Jingle. Jingle says, oh, goodness, what has befallen our Frostfell Wonderland? And I say, that's a good question. He says, I was late to arrive, having been delayed, only to find that the land has been transformed. Beautifully. I say, this wasn't a planned transformation. He says, no, not that I am aware of. It was, no, but it went very wrong. So many that were here are now frozen with it. They need to be saved, first and foremost. I say, maybe we can melt them free. He says, good thinking, Lord Gareth. It'll take some potent Frostfell magic to melt the arcane deep freeze that they are gripped by. I'll need some living burning embers and living ice crystals to obtain them for me. I say, I certainly can. This is great. The burning embers should be found on a living blaze in Lavastorm, and the ice crystals can be obtained from a living snow flurry in Everfrost. I say, I'll be back with the burning embers and ice crystals. All right, now over to Santa Claus. He says, Happy Frostfell, Lord Gareth. I have gifties galore. I have one special for you. I say, thank you. And that's my daily gift from him. It's a Frostfell present. So we got Snowflake Holiday Fruit Festival. Oh, that's fancy right there. That is fancy. So that's a house decoration. And again, if you just wanted to sell it on the book, let's see what it would go for. First of all, we'll find where it ended up. Right there, probably. Yes. Go to sell. Throw it on that. And what would it go for? The only one listed is listed for 180 million platinum. What crazy is that, right? Probably Santa Blood is the one that we can get it. I'm not sure. Slowly but surely, we're finishing this collection quest. Believe it or not, this isn't even my fastest to gather. It's crazy. You do slide on the ice, by the way. So if you want to get a shiny here on the ice, like I'm doing, it takes a whole second. The number of raw materials needed for crafting the Frostfell things is just insane. Sickness says, got my brother to start up on Origins. He's going to try Templar. He's retired and visitor, so this will change. Now, my understanding was your brother said, why do you do not let me know when it came out? Isn't that epic? Yeah, so I don't know. Well, if it's got your brother to, or if it's allowed your brother the information to. It's kind of you to share. So Templar is going to be slow going, I think, as far as leveling, unless he groups. Grouping is 100% the way to go with really any of the dealers, but definitely Templar. More so, the mystics suffer even mightily. I'm trying to. It's not that they have trouble sorting; it's just that it's so slow. Sickness says, "Yeah, once it catches up to me, he'll be able to do it with my guardian mystic, right?" Yeah, exactly. So, what level have you gotten your guardian mystic up to now? I know you just started from the other day. If was retired, you should be able to catch up fairly quickly. I said about to hit 9. I've not played since Sunday. Work had been beat the past couple of days, playing catch up for you. And yes, understand. Well, he'll be able to catch up quickly then. A couple hours he can reach level 9. One thing that's bothering me right now is I know that the max level is like 130 and 35, something like that right now. And my character is level 1 to crafter, the one that I'm on, and I feel I hate doing things that I could be getting credit for, but I'm not getting credit for, if that makes sense. Like, um, it's frustrating to be locked, not because the server is locked at a certain level, but because you haven't completed certain quests yet, and so you level up. That is something I really dislike about the server. Like, oh, we've released a new expansion, but you can't actually level up or anything crazy until you do XYZ. That's very obnoxious because it feels like wasted effort, especially when you're doing the quest line to get to the point where you can then level up, and it's like all that. It's up until you get to the where it unlocks. It's kind of, I don't know, frustrating. I'll try to actually go over and get some quests out of it. Now there's a game, and I can't remember the details of it. It's been a few years. There's a game over there to the northwest, I believe. Um, and I can't remember the details, but you go running around extremely fast over the ice, and you're trying to get something and trying to. I'm not sure, but we'll go and find out. See, looks like we've got a feather here for this guy. Okay, by the way, these are snowballs. And you can pick up icy snowballs, and it'll give you snowballs in your bag. You can fill those snowballs up with people, and you can have snowball fights. There's also fruit cake. You can also throw fruit cake at people, and you can throw that up and it actually knock them back. So you can knock them along in ice by throwing a fruit cake at them. Talk to Jareth Icebeam. Hello, traveler. Happy Frostfell. I don't suppose you feel like helping your friend Frostfell fade. I say happy Frostfell to you too, and that depends. What do you need? He says, ever since I came to the Frostfell village, I've been having dreams of a sad gnome girl. I wish I could take her a present to cheer her up, but I haven't learned gift giving yet. Maybe you could help. I say, well, I haven't studied gift giving either, but I'll help if I can. What shall we give her? He says, unfortunately, I don't know yet. I haven't learned gift selection yet either. But if you go to the Frostfell workshop, I bet the gift supply manager can find the perfect gift for us to give her. I say, sure, guess I can do that. I get these filled into advertise as they will produce things. He says the magical portal that leads into the Frostfell workshop is up on the ledge, near where you interact with Frostfell Village, Wonderland Village. I say, I'll find it. Thank you. All right, so there's that one. Got a shiny over here. Can't be missing that. Droopy's kind of in my way. Droopy is my pet king. He's great. You can hail him. He's currently carrying around a bunch of stuff for me. You know what? Let's go ahead and empty them. And who knows what I was gathering? Let's hear him again, and we can have him go out for some holiday harvests. And so, he'll gather for us over the next couple of hours, and then we can claim a bunch of holiday harvests, which are what I'm gathering right now for these presents. Now, at the very top of this, we have a dude there, and he has get festivals. All right, Prestation, Candy Cane Committee. He says, "Oh no, this is just terrible. Our candy cane surplus, it's been stolen. They're kind of cubes." I said, "What? Could that have happened?" He says, "I don't know. It's like the essence of a cow has gone mad. Just went and slurped all the candy canes up." I said, "Is there anything I can do to help?" He says, "Well, chum, I think there is something you can do. Return to the frozen waters below and chase those candy-stealing pie cubes down. Just know that the essence of a pie is only revealing a few of the cubes at a time." I said, "That'll make it interesting, but it won't stop me from recovering all the candy canes." He says, "Oh, watch out. Earlier I saw some humbugs leaving gifts upon the ice. I'm not sure if they'll help or hinder you, so be sure to approach them with care." I say, "Good thing I'm up for a challenge." He says, "Fantastic. Go on down to the ramp, leading to the ice over near the icy keep. You got an incoming ad break in 11 seconds. There's a present I left down there that may give you just the boost you need to grab all those frozen treats before they melt away." I say, "Sounds good. I'll be back with those frozen candy canes." All right, now, I'm referring to over here where we can read this. And there's the present in question. But first, let's get this shiny lest it tempt me. This is a race, basically. But you're sliding around because you're on ice. And it's been a long time since I did it. So I don't really remember exactly what to do except that we go through those cubes. Take the present. Oh, I have to dismount. Yes, I have to dismount first. Of course, all of these races are like that, and haven't forgotten. So we go to mounts and we come off like this. Alright? Now, we click on this, and then we run to grab the first frozen treat, it says. No, you don't know. Grab the second frozen treat. Unfortunately, I apparently have some kind of safe ball on me. There's another one, anyway. Didn't get that one. Sixth frozen treat? Is that it there? Perhaps. Oh no. Did not want to hit that one. If you jump while you're sliding, it can help you reestablish yourself. Twelfth frozen treat. Let's see. There's hideout. Don't know. There's one there. Did I already get that one? Perhaps. Must have. I suppose because it's not shiny. No good. Don't know where it is. It doesn't bode well for us. Ah, there we go. There's one. Well, I make it in time. No, let's hit one of these. Get a bit of a boost. Play. 13. Well, not looking great over here. Ah, no good, no good. Have to grab the present at the bottom of the ramp instead. Alright, yeah. Try that again. Alright, the first one is here. There's one. It's the second. Third. Fourth. Fifth, maybe. Sixth. Seventh. Eighth. Snowfall is killing me. 11. Well, at the same area and flummoxed. Maybe it was somewhere in the middle that I missed it. It's out this way. It doesn't look that good, does it? No good. One thing is, I wonder if I have on a safe that I play. Yeah, I'm gonna have a safe plate. Hmm. And snowfall. You know what? I think Conjurer has, Conjurer, I don't know, something should be snowfall. Alright, let's try this again. Let's see that. No. Haha. 29 and final. My goodness. No, that is crazy. So, okay. I see. So the next one isn't appearing. So doing the 12th one, just fine. But then, 13th one. Oh, now see, I thought I had gone over that. Well, alright. Let's try it. So you apparently have to hit the next one before you can hit another one. I'm really not even close though to being able to do this. So there's that. So part of it I want you to practice for safe ball from them. That was terrible. No good. I think that you can run backward too. There we go. I've gotten stuck on the pretty point. There we are. You haven't tried running around on the ice grabbing these. You ought to give it a try. Just for the experience, if nothing else. I'm not even going to get close to finishing it, but it's alright. That's not too bad, though. I'm going to get the 20th, and apparently there are 29 of them. And there's the 20th. I won't make it to that one. Doing the wrong way. No. Alright, let's see if we can suspend this mirror. Get rid of this guy for now. I'll cut down on the things. So, could have slashed it. Hide that. Remember how to hide. Maybe we can just slash hide remove it. No, doesn't. Alright, well, get some of this stuff out of our use meter. Don't know that it'll help, but we may as well try it. Alright, take the present. First things first, we get this box. And then I'm gonna have to do some of these a lot better. And with the space bar, to slow fall, or to speed up the flow. I don't know if it's faster or not to put it when it's that close. Certainly faster to hit this one, but I missed it. I missed it. What a shame. It's funny, you try to hit him and you miss him. You want to hit him. More blindly. We hit him. See, I really thought that was going to go right through it, but apparently not. This ninth one is a little tricky too. Where it is. There it is. Okay. Run by it previously. So, we're not doing the route the right way. Something. Oh my gosh, I missed it again. Jeez Louise. Alright. See if I can manage to hit this. Alright, great. Good job. Good job, me. Put a box. This one. Maybe I'm going the right direction now. Who knows? Oh, that went the wrong way. Ah, that's definitely the wrong way. It's alright. Well, that was just cruel there. Cruel, I tell you. Got a little bit further. Got to at least 21 that time. I'll try again. Probably should have hit that box, but you know, you just never know which direction's going to push you. Obviously missed something. There it is. Well, supposed to go around through there. That's too bad. And make it very far like that. Maybe that's over. We lost the track. There it is. Right. We did. We went the wrong way. It's because of the harmony. It's a shame. Haha. Just absolutely ridiculous, I thought. Get up to the 22nd now. It's good. Here's the 23rd. You might make it there. You might. You see. Not bad. I'm getting some kind of rewards. I got some gold rabbit guy from my pet pony. Got some malleable silver bar from him. Alright, let's try this again. I really need to turn off this safe bell wherever it was. Because it's slowing me down pretty severely. Checking to see if it's in any of the traditions. Doesn't really seem to be. It's been so long since I played on this character. I'm not sure. Let's try to do the adventure game. Still have it. And this window is tiny. I'm not going to show you a lot of the stuff. Let's see if I see safe ball. There it is. All right. Okay. Form of John Imagine. You could just shut it off, but I want to see what the name of it is. so that I can turn it back on later, you know. Alright, there it is. So let's turn that off. It's in the ability section. Maybe. Who knows what'll happen now? Don't know if this will be better or worse, but it should be different. Oh yes. Wow, but I still have something safe for a while. Oh no. Oh no, that was terrible. That pretty much ruined all those chances. Oh man. '13th and 4th is just for some reason difficult for me. I think I just run a direction that they're not wanting us to run. Let's see, is this the right way? I think it's normal. There we go. That's the right way, but oof, that did not help in the slightest. Oh, thank you, Purgature. He says impressive skating skills. Not very. Ah, that was terrible. It's the same one that I had before. I can't believe I just ran into it and played dunks. Let's try this one. No? Apparently not. Oh, do they all not move back in this area? Well, maybe so. Maybe it's like a little landmine and I should just avoid them. No, no, it'll knock me out. Okay. There are some coloration differences. I wonder if they're not important. The ones that are brown definitely won't be back. I wonder if the blue ones would not be forward. I should pay attention. I normally don't pay attention to color in basically anything in real life or anything. Um, so maybe there's a way to recognize the ones that will send you forward and the ones that will send you back. If only I could pay better attention. We'll see if I can manage that this time. Try again. Don't know what number I got to that time, but I know I did mess up pretty severely. So, all right, first one is right here. No, this is a phone number 3. Ah, it might be the side. It's right here. There's a blue one. Don't know what it'll do. Let's try the brown one just to see. Okay, definitely knocks you to the side. So, is that... Well, okay, that time I got knocked up. Not sure. So this one's blue. And I missed it, apparently. Okay, let's try hitting this one, which is blue. Apparently we can't manage to hit that one. Much too difficult. Okay, but that one certainly not move forward. Not doing phenomenal here. I do want to try to avoid those, but I can't. It's a shame. It's a shame. Where does this take me? Nowhere. Weird thing. Those ones do not seem to be it. Did I or did I not just fly right through that cube? You not get credit for it. Pretty sure that's what happened. No chance to win this, but we'll keep going so we can gain these skills and knowledge. I haven't seen any way to tell what these would do, so I'm just going to run into one and find out that it seems me in the wrong direction. I don't think I'm gonna risk running into that one. I think I'm supposed to run behind her for this one, or maybe this is not the case. Nope, you're not supposed to run behind her for that one. And that's alright. I'm getting my 21st in there. This one is the minefield. So I might get to it now. I'm not gonna quite make it to minefield. Oh, I did. It found it. Maybe. Doesn't really matter. It wasn't good enough. I need 29. Alright, let's try this again. I've not learned much from this most recent endeavor. I have no idea which direction I'm at. There's at least one area that's basically just do not approach. One problem is that I still have the snowfall. And the snowfall is not great. This one didn't go well when I tried to use a speed up, so we're just gonna go through like that instead. No, that won't. Oh, that was terrible. No, no, no. No, no, no. Maybe what a mess, huh? Seem to think that these are mostly portable revenues, and I'm just going through them, except for that one. I've been going through that one, Fenton. Can't remember where we go. I think I always forget where we go. That's unfortunate because it really decreases the amount of time I've got. And this next one, that area there is definitely filled with horrible things that are pulling in the wrong direction. So, we're on our 21st right now. Don't know which way this is going to lead me. For me anyway, how interesting. Dang. I even tried not to hit that, but yeah, working against me. Very much doing good. We don't know. Don't even see it. Um, I'm gone now. Man, it's tough. So I'm number 24. I wonder if that's it. Okay, how interesting. So you're supposed to go along better. Hmm, too bad. I still have something giving me safe. It's really a problem. I'm not sure what it is. Unfortunately, this window is not nearly large enough. Well, no, actually, it isn't bad. Oh, oh, I see. I have primarily my harvesting things around the community, which makes sense, of course. Increases the airspeed by a certain amount. It'd be nice if it increases the jumping speed. Somehow I'm missing. Okay, that was giving me safe I don't know. I'm wondering. Yeah, really amazing that feat of any of this. I don't know. Really thought it. Okay. Come on. Yeah. It's the holidays. What do you want? Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this mess. Now, it would be nice to still be one to know if they would bring us to Origins, but alas, that's not the way that we've been doing so far. Of course, doing it this way does mean I don't know which number I'm on, and I can't see the map because I need to, and I don't know when the post is. So pros and cons. I mean, how about better screen viewing? No. Oh no, that was terrible. These are pretty holidays out of class. I'm gonna try to avoid them for the most part. There's the minefield right here. Let's just try to go around it. Ah, man. No bueno. It's so close and it's so far away. Oh, there we are. There's the interesting. Oh no, this is just gonna be right. All right, let's see. Ah, so close. I wonder what number I got to. I have no idea. I feel like it was pretty good though. It's a good show. Let's see, what number was that? We were out here somewhere. Oh my goodness, 28. Really? Okay. Another possibility. Let's try sprinting this. Can I? Not really. This one was never not either. This one is so difficult to get without getting sent all over the world. This is the 18th one right here. We need a total of 29. That's the 18th. 19th. Then, don't know if I should have risked that one. Maybe it's a long run. But I didn't, so that's all I can say. I'm trying. Sprint doesn't actually seem to help at all. I tried to avoid that, and I just didn't quite get far enough for it. It's a shame. Might have been more than this time. Too many areas. Ah, Jesus. So brutal. Yeah, that's right. You gotta come with that one from behind. It's alright. Come back over here to the start again. We'll try again. Alright. The sprinting seems to have done nothing whatsoever, so I won't worry about that. I think this first one was decently to play. It got us a little closer, a little faster. That works out okay. Maybe this one was alright? No, this wasn't. This one was a little bit tricky. I think it may even just be better to go around on the back on this one too. We're supposed to go back to our roast, right? There we go. So, and then we're gonna avoid these pretty much across the board. Well, I almost forgot where I was going there for a whole second. Okay. Avoid all those guys. And then with this one, I'd say backtrack pulling from the line. Carefully. Wow. Carefully do that here. There we go. Yeah, not the 27th, by gosh. Probably even the 28th. Not quite. Needed one more. Alright, you give it one more go, and then you go work on some of these quests. It would actually be so helpful if I didn't have the set so far on me. Oh no. Well, let's see if we can come in this way. A little too far on the back. We're near the beginning there. It's doomed us anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. We're just now at the 13th. Yeah, so it's not likely to be a successful venture. I need to be making better use of the gifts, but I have failed. Let's see which ones we which. So like, okay, that one was good. This is kind of a trial and error thing. I think this is the one that was not supposed to go around, probably. Is it just, yeah, just adds extra time. That's your time you can't afford to lose. So we are. Oh well. Wonder if I hit it from this side. I don't think that was better. Oh, that was definitely bad. Let's see. How about nothing? Don't feel like that was useful. So useless at best. That's why I got all those. This one I could have done better if I had controlled that claw better. But no bueno, as it is. Yeah, I got up to the 25th. That's not too bad. Alright, let's try some of these other ones. We have, could do find the super manager in the Frostfell workshop. But how's about we go over and defeat a living blazing Lavastorm? We can turn my corporate calendar back on. My, I think I have dismissed my familiar. We can bring thing back out. Oh, heaven. Alright, it was the I haven't worked, don't really care about that. Definitely going to put the mount back on and pull out pet. And then we can use fast traveling and try to find Lavastorm with all these other things here. Let's see. Living balloons. It could be one of the things inside the water over here. So we only have a couple of possible places to travel to. So we travel to the docks. So this one is for a deep ice mystery, which was it's also a Frostfell quest, believe it or not. It's crazy that I'm getting discovery just everywhere in this character. It's weird. But to live in the magma, not quite the same thing. I can guarantee you guys this is not the first time Lord Bear has been through um, Lavastorm. Sure does look like it though, doesn't it? One of these updates forbidden. You know what? The living device is at the first. That's okay. There we go. How funny. And then we made a living snow flurry and Everfrost. We can just pop over with this traveling wear business. Just that. So none of the exciting running that you get on Origins. It's just all right here. Click where you want to go and I'll jump, all right? There's a little snow flurry. So we'll go into the town and he'll become our level fish. You know, depending on what level you are, he'll be different, he'll be a different level accordingly. Obtain the living fish that has crystals. Now, got that. Return to Jingle. Jingle is outside a fast travel over there. Jingo's right outside of the Frostfell Village entrance, which is over there. Into Nose Harbor on the northwestern side of Candace Harbor. Oh no, that's Pinchy inside. You have to go into the music closet to Jingle. Jingle is the guy standing over near Santa Fe. That's right. Frostfell Village. Right there. He says, thank the gods you've returned, okay? Have you been making brilliant embers and ice crystals? I said, yes, well, they are, Jingle. He says, perfect. The other components have already been prepared for the Lasting Thaw Potion. And I say, so we won't have to wait long, will we? He says, no, at all. Which is good, as I fear time is slipping from us. We must prioritize the Lasting Thaw Potion. Cast it to free Candace, Guardian, McScroogle, Bean Bunny, and Snarf of the deep freeze that they've been to Runja. I say, maybe then we'll learn who or what is behind this. He says, good thinking, old Gare. They may have seen something. Yes, I just hope they're not too late. Me too, Jingle. Me too. All right. And I don't have any spots open on the hot bars on this guy, I'm pretty sure. So we shan't worry about that. We'll just keep this window open. And then I gotta find people. So we need it on We don't even need it anymore because it's in the window. So, we'll have to find these various people that we don't remember really where are. It's been a while. Time has passed. Wow. Guardian X gift givers here. Cast Lasting Thaw Potion. Candace. Share with on Candy. Candy. No. Let's see. That is our great guess. It's reindeer. McScroogle out. That'll be where McScroogle wears, I suspect. We got Westwood Isle. Reindeer Isle. Sweater Isle. Oh, there's Candy Isle over there. Alright, so far to the northeast we have Candy Isle. A minute ago, I think I said northwest. I'm keen and sharp of an in fact it's northeast. There she is. Candace Cherryworth. And so we'll press this button and cast 2 Volts Lasting Thaw Potion on her. And it thaws her out when we talk to her. And she says, I'm free. Thank you for the help. I said, did you see who did that to you? She says, no, I was busy mixing some batter and bam, the butter was cold and so was I. I say, who wanted? She says, I'm betting there's those troublesome humbugs. I say, this seems a little much for them. Now we have to do Guardian's gift giver on the owl, which is actually where we were just a moment ago. Same place as the current guy as well. That's it. Almost again. There he is. Guardian's gift giver. Pass down him. And then we talk to him. He says, I was beginning to fear the worst, friend. Thank you for freeing me. I say, did you say who or what froze you? He says, no, but considering the magics used, do you think it was Coldane last chance? I say, I doubt it. Maybe someone else saw something. Now we have to go into McScroogle on McScroogle Isle. Leave that over here. This is an easy one. Unclear son. He was causing trouble one day. He says, well, thanks for the aid. Being stuck in that rock is freezing my bones. I say, did you see what or who attacked you? He says, you bet your last copper I did. I say, wonderful, who was it? This is Miracle. I said, wait, the Miracle? He says, well, I didn't see Miracle per se. But can you think of someone else with a fondness for ice and wild animals? I say, so that's what you saw? Wild animals? He says, animals made of ice, actually. I say, interesting, but maybe not Miracle. Right now, we have to go past the Thaw Potion on Cleaning Buddy on the Isle of Great Gifts. Cleaning Buddy on the Isle of Great Gifts. We've got all kinds of things, but here's the Isle of Great Gifts. And there's Cleaning Buddy. And here's my casting potion. Draw her out, and then we can talk to her. Bless you, I cannot thank you enough for freeing me of that ice. And I say, who did this to? Do you recall anything prior to being frozen? She says, yes, and I remember seeing an odd animal, one that I had not seen before, but was familiar. It was a fey drake, like those in the Fey but white and blue, and snowy, falling from its wings. I said that may have been the same animal that McScroogle saw. Right, now I have to get Snarf at Frostfoot on Frostfoot Isle. Frostfoot Isle, we have forgotten what Frostfoot Isle is, just like everything. Snarf Frostfoot. Frostfoot Isle. So the Jedi said, what server are you on? I'm on Module Duel at the moment, doing the Frostfell stuff today. Snarf says, fine, Snarf's not frozen. I say, what put you in that ice, Snarf? He says, me know what? You know who? I say, oh, who did this to? He says, Lady Vox. She mad when Frost was trying to be free. And I say, but you didn't see her, did you? He says, yes, tiny ice dragon. I say, Lady Vox isn't tiny. He says, oh, you don't know then. I said, thank you. Now I better speak with Jingle and Smith right over here. He says, did the Lasting Thaw Potion work okay? I said that it did, but the victims didn't see up a lot. He says, no, don't be coy. What did they see? I say 3 of them saw ice enemies before being frozen, one of which was some sort of icy fey dragon. He says, that's our only true lead then. I agreed. I wonder if they've left Frostfell Wonderland Village. I say, if they were trying to change the area for themselves, it would stand to reason they'd still be there. He says you should start research in the northernmost islands and then move south. Good luck. Search the islands north of Shantablood for a mysterious creature. Alright, islands north of Shantablood. That doesn't mean much because all of these are islands. What I think, and what I expect, and grab this shiny first and foremost. Better get your priorities straight here. And here's our fourth frost attacker. And the frost favorite. We found the force not doomed. Conveniently. Probably not relevant at the moment. But the mysterious ice creatures in the mountains northwest of such a dragon, right? Northwest. And the other shinies. That's the part it doesn't say. So we're just into it. I mean, technically, this is unique, but I don't think we're going to find anything like that. Actually, I'm going to watch those two as a draw, I think. couple of person guys over there. Nice. There was Philip Hunters, who also has a quest for us. We're working on him this quest already. The unicorn just wandering up the path over there. The unicorn statue, I suppose, is one. Or something. They've been stabbed. Yes, they're there. So it turns conscious. It's reindeer. Here's our first big tree. That's interesting. I must have something. Yes. Ah, who's that was logged in? I spot plus crapper teleported today. Hunt for the mysterious ice creature I saw in Alan's south seemed to go below. No, not Santa Claus. And really have a nice to smell where who says you will not undo my work. We'll see. Maybe so, maybe no. Who knows? Now the chair Frostfell. That's right, Frostbite. Attacking the mysterious ice creatures forced the culprit, Jared Frostbite, to reveal himself. Now it says, speak with Jared Frostbite. Unfortunately, he's dead, Jim. But there he is. Not dead over there. He says that devil, she'll never answer my prayers now. He said, what are you talking about? I won't answer them. He says, the icy guardian. She has manifested upon your wrath 3 times since the return of the gods, but her absence is still felt. How do you not see what I'm doing here? I say, was this to glorify a cow? You were freezing other people? He says, we are all her worshippers, and all of us within this Wonderland Village crave the true gifts and are blessed by her touch upon this world. They would have gladly given themselves if it meant her lasting return. And I say, you thought this could have brought about her return? He says, I was hoping a grand sacrifice in a beautiful temple, all in her name, would gain her attention and give her a proper place on the earth. I say, as well intended as that is, I must insist that you stop. What you've done here is beautiful. It is a icy wonderland, worthy of her name. she wishes to return, she will. He says, and this place will remain a sanctuary for those that wish to be close to her magic. I say, exactly. He says, I can live with that, Odell. I just had wanted to do more. Thank you. I said, you're welcome. Now we get this Frostfell freight plushie right here. And 5 closing tokens of our crown. Let's accept that. We finished that one. Now, into our keep, we have, oh yes, let's go do this one. It is the tale of the Kipoerneke, well, by the way. And so I think that the enchanted lands where the players and whatnot are over here. And it's going to be right around the docks. So yeah, let's take this fast travel. And then underneath the docks, in the water, there it is. Maybe no, not yet. There it is. There is a little like a grate under there. Somewhere. Oh, there we go. Marked with candy canes close. It's crazy how much longer it takes to zone on this server. Now, what are we doing now? I need to find whoever's in charge of the group of critters. The group of critters outside. The hideout is on the seafloor. Under the docks, the land of fairies and halflings. They also said, oh, I'll have to take a boat to get there. Well, there I am. I do not want to take that until the support of the people of their hideout. There he is, I found that. The Giggle Gripper King. Jibba Jabba says live zoning. Yeah, no facepalm, sure. Man, it's a mess over here. Giggle Gripper King says, hi, you're really not supposed to be here. I say, I was sent by the elves. They say you're holding their leader. He says, I was not holding anything. You see, nothing in my hands. See? I say, I didn't mean literally. And I said he is a prisoner. He says, I don't know what you're talking about. We don't have any tiny elves in cages. No, not here. Never. I say, who said anything about a cage? Hand over Lord Bowsprite, or suffer my wrath. He says, fine, fine. You can have some. I don't want some. He just eats up foods. He won't dance or nothing. I say, thanks. Where is he? He says, he is in the vault room down the hall. You takes this key to get in. Bye-bye now. I say, bye. Now, in the vault room down the hall is where I'm going. And here he is. This is okay. Okay. Have my brethren sent you to free me? I say, yes. Did you notice how to open the cage? He says, I've only seen it opened once when I was put in it. It wasn't even the goblins that put me in here. I was tricked by a rather rude fairy, which locked me in, gave one of the goblins the key, laughed, and flew away. The goblin brought me here and put the key in the vault. They have offered to let me leave, but they couldn't reopen the vault they put the key in. Ad starts in 7 seconds. I say, well, I'll go talk to the king again and see if he knows a way to get you out. I'll be back. He says, what you want now? I say, I need the key to release Bowsprite from the cage. He says, we don't have any key to that cage. It's in one of the vaults, but we can't open them either. Don't know how. There was keys for them, but they're gone now. Snow Sniffer might know where they are. Go talk to him. He's over there on the second level. I say, okay, thanks. He's the one I ran up to earlier. They have amazing construction capabilities, the goblins. Snow Sniffer, it's actually Snow Sniffer, the schema. He says, I'm very, very busy. Regrets to keeps on schedule. I say, the king said you might be able to help me open vaults. He says, vaults, let's see. Ah, yes, I have the requisitions right here. Filled out in triplicate with 4 vault keys. I have 1 from the blacksmith, 1 from the ballot counter, 1 from that weird gnome, and 1 from Amadias, the bandit. You'll have to ask them for the keys, but they won't just give them to you. You'll have to help them with their responsibilities. Now, let's see. Let's start with the blacksmith. Tell me about the blacksmith. The blacksmith's assignment is to make us coins. We need lots and lots of gold coins. The more coins, the better. I say, why? He says, why? Because everyone needs lots and lots of coins. We put them in chests and counts them, and the more we have, the better we are. I say, but why? What's the point? Are you trying to buy something? He says, huh? I say, okay, I have another question. Tell me about the ballot counter. The ballot counter is in charge of tallying the votes for Gibber Mayor. It's a tight race, I hear. He is stuck, and no one's been able to help him yet. You can't do it without a mayor. I say, you have a king. Why do you need a mayor? He says, because we're dupes. Everyone needs a mayor. I say, but why? He says, huh? I say, okay, I have another question. Tell me about the gnome. The gnome is an inventor we hired to build us a special mechanical way to get to the surface. I don't know much about. I just know he isn't done yet. He should be. I say, okay, I have another question. Tell me about Imodius. Imodius is in lots of trouble with the king. He's been making terrible racket, and the king told him to stop, but he's still trying to make that horrible noise. You see if you can help him. I say, okay, I have another question. All right. I think we know everything now. We're saying, never mind, goodbye. All right. Now they each have a quest for us. So we'll go talk to the gnomish inventor over here. He says, hello there. I see you've been appreciating my mechanomagical creation, or necromagical, in fact. Are you impressed? I say, what is it? He says, it's the unbelievable supercharged oscillating Lavatron. It's the most amazing magic mechanic vessel to be created since the boat. Instead of sailing atop the water, it sails under the water. Remarkable, I know. All right, so then I say, really, how does it work? He says, I customized Windowmatic's sail unfurling device to make the hydraulic re-optimizer push these gears, which in turn transfer hydro-manipulated energy into the shaft, which then, and see, I'm boring you with my technical jargon. So let's just say it's very complicated. I just wish I could find a better way to power it. I say, how do you power it? He says, we use coal. A lot of coal. I mean, a lot of coal. The subliminal undulating vehicular gets terrible cogs per clump. It's quite the coal hog. In fact, it uses so much coal, we have never been able to get enough to try it out. I say, I could get you more coal. He says, oh, that would be wonderful. Problem is, I'm not exactly sure how much it will take. So head out and get 20 clumps of coal. Any of those crafting societies should sell for it. Go ahead and get the cheapest coal they have and bring it back. Make sure you get the cheapest or it won't work. You can take the pocket goblin to get you back faster. I say, okay, I'll be back with 20 coal. All right. So, now I must go and get 20 gold. Let's head to have a space for some food and drink. I don't actually think I care a great deal about that, though. What I do care about is sorting my bags so that I can find things. However, I have currently a perfect goblin. It's a bag of goblin to send me that. So, I'm going to just stick this in the spare slot so that we don't have issues with that later. Alright. No sorting. Now, doesn't really matter where we go. Why don't I just call the hall? We have coal there and the fuel depot, and I can just hopefully pick it up. Has to be the cheapest coal or it won't work. So let's grab regular coal. Do I even have it? Basic coal. That's what they call it on this server. That's right. So let's get a couple of stacks. Goodness gracious, 800 in the stack right now? Incredible. Alright. Let's put one stack back, because I don't think we did 800. Okay. Just to cover our bases here. Let's get a few different versions of coal. Yeah. And then we can use our pocket goblin. Do you want to let the goblin on the bed? Yes. He says, where's me? Can't open here. Take me to a big land area. Alright, so we have to hop out of here. And then we gotta be able to use it. Try again. The pocket goblin. Pull him out. Pocket goblin is resting and he won't wake up no matter what you do. Give him some time. Well then, in that case, let's just go to Enchanted Lands. Hop over to the docks this way. No, he's just not all about it. Alright, so no mini-goblins we're going to at the moment. He says, did you get the coal? I say, yes, here you are. He says, good, good. I don't think this is quite enough. Can we go back and get 20 more? I say, sure. But I thought ahead and grabbed plenty of things. He says, did you get the coal? I say, yes, there you are. He says, well, that still won't do it. We need 20 more. I say, fine. I come back. He says, did you get the bowl? I say, yes. So you are. He says, no, that is still not enough. I'll get 20 more. I say, okay. Talk to him again. He says, did you get the coal? I say, yes. There you are. He says, still not enough. We need another 20 clumps. I said, this better be the last trip. I'll be back. Now we talk to him again. He says, I think we finally have enough. Now comes the fun part. I'm a bit too short, you see, so I need you to put the coal in the hydroclinker and give it a good cranking. Just keep cranking until it starts up, okay? I say, all right. He says, good. Get started and let us begin the maiden voyage of the superhydronic utilitarian evacuator. And I say, will do. All right. Excellent. So here we have the Wonderland propelling device. This gadget is a modification of Wandomatic's popular sail unfurling device. It seems the enormous inventor employed by the Gibblegivers has found a way to make the device propel things using coal. A lot of coal. Right. So we're going to crank it. And it says clunk, clunk. We begin to notice some movement. Clunk. Then it says roar, roar. All the gears start to spin. Bodies. Bang. The device seems to have blown up. The enormous inventor says, I can't believe it exploded. Maybe we should have used less coal. Now, I need the key that shot out of the Endomatic. Let's see. Where is the key? There it is, on the ground. Oh, thank you, Jibba Jabba and Deswahara, for the contribution to the Scene on Webcam challenge. Except this Gibba key. What's interesting is it's not showing it complete, but I feel like that ought to have completed it, right? Am I misreading the right situation? Checking my screen here. It feels like that's the right number, right? Yeah, I don't know. Now we've got the Giga belt kind of there. It says, hellos. Can you help me? I'm very confused. And you look smart. I say, sure thing, Judy. He says, the mayors gave speeches and everyone wrote down who they named and we put the paper in the box. I took the papers and looked at them, but I don't know who won. And you write real good, but you can't read so good. So you read the papers, you count, and you tell me who won. Deal? I say, sure, I'll get counted. I need to count the ballots. Well, let's see. We need to find the ballot box. Here it is. The scrawled writing on this ballot reads cat. Set aside. Scrawled writing on this ballot reads cheese. Set aside. The scrawled writing on this ballot reads fire. Table. Dog. No. Oat. butterfly, cake, soup, gold, boots, spoon, blanket, I like writing, that one, cucumber, beet, what? You feel around on the bottom of the box. There are no more ballots, but in the corner you find a small metal object. Take the metal object. Who won? I'm going to say, the first candidate. He says, "Hey, I voted for that one. Thanks to you for helping." I'll let everyone know. I say, "Yeah." All right, and so we got our second key. It's in the ballot box. Yeah. Over here we have a Modius Giggle Ribbon. Greetings, my fine feathered friend. Have you come to listen to cacophonous melodies of the Giggle Giggle Orchestra? I say, I'll pass, but Snow Sniffer mentions you're having some problems. He says, very true. The king has taken our drums away. Now we're drumless. All ever to hit the crescendo in the fifth movement of a wondrous two-movement chorus. It's horrible. But luckily, being the most ingenious of the givers, I have a plan. I say, oh yeah? He says, I have set up replacement percussion. The only problem is none of my fellow givers remotely in rhythm. So I know if I let them play, the king will just take these away too. You seem rather foot-free and fancy. You should play with us. I say, okay, but I don't know the song. He says, that doesn't matter. The percussion, will tell you. The gnome inventor fandangled them, so they're color-coded and play the song before you do. That way, you can just remember which pots were going in which order, and then you know the song. I say, that sounds easy enough, but it doesn't, because this isn't my forte, so it doesn't sound as easy as you think. He says, good, just grab and put one of the spoons. Yeah. There's no pretending they aren't spoons, is there? Well, anyways, grab a spoon and the pots will tell you what to do next. If you move too far away from them, the song will stop and the king will definitely find starting and stopping quite irritating. I said, okay. All right, now first and foremost, we pick up a spoon. Receive the small spoon. Now, next, go and we'll zoom in so that we can see better. Okay, helpful hint. If you hover your mouse cursor over glowing objects, press the FD key on your keyboard to interact with them. You knew this already. Continue. Alright, now our screen. We'll have to click it. Match this pattern. Okay. Doesn't seem to be letting me go yet. Nothing lighting up. I stopped cleaning pots, but that's a problem. Something is exactly strange about it. I don't even. I don't know why it's lifting me up. Whenever I do this, my vision is scary. Oh, failure. No, that's not right. Oh, no, I missed the person. Missed it again. I don't know what it's scared of with, but I'll try. All right. Whew, got it. All right, now we talk to Nadia's giver again. This is really great effort. So great. In fact, you can have this clean. I was going to use it instead of the spoon, but I think the tint of wrapping the lid on the metal pots is brilliant-tastic. It really adds atmosphere. We'll have to talk to that flute player about his choreography. Oh, well, thanks again. I said, right. Well, thanks and good luck. Ah, somehow, the couch turning okay, what was this? The fourth guy was back here. You gotta be careful in here because you don't want to put the wrong thing and end up outside. A gibber blacksmith. Hello, do you want some coins? I say, it's obvious that those aren't real coins, right? He says, what? What are you talking about? They look exactly like real coins. I say, not really. A real coin is heavier and shinier. He says, well, How do I make things heavier and shinier? I say, you could use carbonite instead of wood, and then coat the metal in a thin layer of gold. He says, I don't understand. If we use gold, then how are we making any monies? I say, because the whole coin isn't made of gold. It's just lightly coated so it looks more real. He says, oh, so I see. We don't have any carbonites, so that won't work. The only metal we have, besides monies, is the thing that I like to heat up and hit with hammer. Thanks, though. I say, if you give me that key you keep hitting, I could get you some carbon. He says, I don't know. I really like hitting this thing. If I gives it to you, I won't have nothing to hit. I say, you could heat up and hit the carbonite to make coins. He says, no, that won't work. Once I tried hitting a sword I found to make coins, but they knew it wasn't a coin. They said it wasn't a circle and coins are circles. So your idea won't work. Thanks, though. I say it's because you have to mold the metal. You can't just hit it and expect it to look like a coin. He says, I don't get it. What do I have to do? I say, first, you melt the carbonate in the fire. He says, then what? I say, and then you pour the melted metal into a mold made from a real coin. He says, okay, what next? I say, then you let it cool. He says, this is complicated, but keeps going. I say, then you dip it in the melted gold and put it back in the mold. He says, and then? I say, you let it cool, and then you have your coin. He says, I see. That makes perfect sense. We do it your way. You go get smooth metal and gold, and I'll gives you my key, okay? You can borrow my puppy goblin and bring it back here faster, okay? I say, sounds like a deal. I'll be back soon. All right. I'm going to return to the Kipoerneke blacksmith. I'm going to bring 5 carbonite clusters and 5 gold clusters. So make sure I have all 3 items with me. That sounds tremendous. I don't know. Yeah, my gold follows up, so I'll use that. I can dump the coal that I have left back in, and then I can pick that up. I just realized that also. No, I didn't dump extra soap. All good. So we need carbonite and we need coal. Actually, I'm going to. No, I better not. Almost decided to deposit everything. Let me see real quick. I think that we have the frost weapons upstairs. Frostfell machines. Not sure though. Yes, Frostfell, festive workbench, Mary stove and keg, cheery moon. Right, excellent. Now, last time we tried to pocket goblin with the spoon, that he doesn't like to come out. Yeah, good. I wonder if he'll work in town. I don't know. Might have to go all the way outdoors, but let's find out. He says, what do you want now? I say, send me back to the big creeper hideout. Right, does look in town. He says, do you have my medals? I say, yes, there you go. He says, good, good. I get started now. You can have my key. Bye. I say bye. Now, I need to open the full back vaults. Start with this one. You insert the key into your mechanical thinking. Out pops a small combination lock with the number sequence 2468. Entering in the next number in the sequence should open the lock. So we're going to go with 10. The lock clicks and the door can now be opened. Open the door. Next, number sequence is 20, 30, 40, 50. We're going to do 60. Lock clicks and the door can now be opened. Third vault. We've got 8642. We're going to put 0. Open the vault. And then the fourth one. The number sequence is 3, 6, 9, 12. We're going to put 15. And open the vault. Alright, we opened all 4 vaults. Now I'm going to let Bowsprite out of the village. There he is. He says, that was strange. I'll talk to him. He says, it's nice to finally be out of there so I can stretch. I say, alright. He says, I'm glad my comrades found such a brave hero to help us. I'm not sure what they've explained, but I'll fill you in with it. A goblin going by the Grump showed up at our home and took over. He made the beasties all mean and made it snow. We're used to a more temperate climate, so we had to leave. Not to mention, none of us want to get eaten. I say, who would? What do you need me to do? He says, we aren't fighters, so we need an adventurer like you to go to our home and clear out the Grump. You should try to learn more information about him, though. If I were you, I would go talk to the king about the situation. When you're done, go back to my friends and let them know I'm free and ask them to send you to our home. I have some quick business to finish here, but I'll meet you at the Wonderland later. I say, okay, see you there. Alright, so now we're on unlocking the Elfin Lord. I need to speak with the Giggle Gibber King again to see if he knows anything about the Grump. He says, what now? I say, Lord Bowsprite said his land has been taken over by a Giggle Gibber. Giggle Gibber. You know anything about that? He says, why would I notice anything? I stay here. None of us ever leave here, really, except the gambling merchants and Grimagus. Grimagus is strange. He don't care nothing about golds. He stopped being mayor for no reasons, and he's always grumpy, always wanting us to stop having gifting day. He's a party pooper. And I say, what else can you tell me about Grimagus? He says, not much, but we have this book that's about it. We found it one day. Use can have it. Leave me alone now, okay? I say I already have a copy of the Grump's story, but thank you. I need to return to the elves. Alright, so that's going to be back in Frostfell Wonderland Village, I think. So I'm thinking that for now, I'm going to have to get off and go eat some food and things like that. So I think I will. Let's see. I'll go ahead and see if the call to build is back. I didn't really cover it. It's called a home, maybe. So I'll call the home. Or whatever that good that does on this server. I could just, could go to Cumulus and do Harbor there. But I'm gonna do it anyway, going through the motions. So I will come back for a little more Frostfell later on, maybe in probably around an hour or so. I will be back. As always, it was a pleasure streaming with all of you and enjoyed the chatting and all that. And I should be back in an hour, maybe an hour and a half. If you haven't followed me yet, be sure to follow me so that you can turn on notifications and see when I go live again. I hope to see you then. Goodbye for now.